Honestly, I'm just gonna talk very bluntly here. I'm trying to be very eloquent with this because it is kind of a topic, but I'm just gonna talk to you like I'm talking to a friend. So if it's too much, you can't handle it, you might want to turn this off right now. What is up? I'm fixing this crazy glare. Sorry for the glare, it's pretty bad. This is gonna be more of a quick video than typical, but it was just something I was kind of thinking about and something I wanted to address and hope this maybe gives somebody perspective or some level of insight in doing so. Why should we save ourselves for marriage, or why do we save ourselves for marriage, or what's the point of saving ourselves for marriage? People feel differently, and obviously if you have a Christian worldview, you've heard that it's important to abstain from any kind of sexual intimacy with anybody before marriage. If you're not in the context of a covenantal marriage with another person, if you're a woman with a man, if you're a man with a woman, then no sex allowed. A lot of people with just a worldly view of things, for lack of a better term, don't understand the concept of waiting until marriage. And one of the reasons that I've heard personally is because how will you know if you're a good fit? How will you know if you have chemistry? How will you know if this even works, if that's someone you really want to be with, unless you explore each other intimately first, before you make the commitment? You get a little test drive, right? You a little sample here and there. It's kind of like the ice cream parlor. You walk in, you try a little bit of this flavor, a little that flavor, not sure what you're in the mood for. Before you commit and make the purchase, you want to have a little taste and see, like, is this something I could see myself doing long term? Is this something I really want to commit to? And I am not here to judge or condemn. There is a part of me that understands that actually makes sense in a lot of ways. But if I could submit this to you, when you have sexual intimacy with someone, you're not just doing something that feels good. It's not simply just a form of affection and then you're done and that's it. People try to act like that's how it is. Movies try to portray it as that, but this is the thing. When you are intimate with a person, you are becoming united with them, not only physically, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. It is a union. It is the consummation of your relationship. It is really like a bonus if you're married. So it's not something that should define your relationship. It's more of something that unites you to that person that you have decided to enter into covenant with. Another thought, this is just kind of a thought that I had. Let's think about this here. Okay, what is the actual purpose of having sex with someone? Yes, it's about intimacy. Covered that briefly, but also in a very practical sense, this is how we reproduce. This is how we make babies and be fruitful and multiply, as the word says, right? We wait to enter into that level of relationship, not just for uniting, and we're uniting our relationship, we're becoming one. Also, once you both have decided and agreed in your heart, I'm gonna make commitment to this, I'm gonna be committed to this person, I'm going to enter into covenant with this person, which is a big deal. It's not something to be taken lightly. Now we can enjoy each other, and we have created a context that is safe to bear children. So when these children come into the world, they are born into a context of family. They're born into a place that is safe, that it's not unhealthy, and it's not going to be destructive to anybody, because you're in relationship with each other, and now here comes the baby. The fruit of your uniting is another human life together, so you can raise that child, and that child is safe, being raised up in the way it should go by two parents that love each other and are committed, and end of story. Again, I understand the aspect where, how will you know unless you give it a try first, if you're a good fit and everything like that. But this is if you're with someone and you're intentional about them and your relationship with them, you are going to get to know them. Sex is not the way to get to know a person. That's a way to, feel good and do your thing and whatever. That's not how you get to know them. You get to know them by being intentional within the context of dating and courting and whatever you want to call it. That is how you get to know a person. That's where you ask the questions. That's where you see if your direction and their direction is in alignment. That's when you pray and you seek God and say, is this for me? Is this not? Am I tripping? What's going on? Then once you both have mutually come to that agreement, doesn't it make just so much more sense once you put the ring on and like as a symbol of commitment, not just to show it off and flaunt it on the gram, but as a symbol of covenant to one another for eternity till death do us part. Now we can go into this realm that we have waited for. It's like waiting till Christmas to open your presents. I'm sorry, but as much as I might want present X, Y, or Z, it is so much more exciting when I wait till Christmas Day. Okay, but I'm just saying it's worth waiting for. It's so much more exciting and better to have gone through the process of getting to know each other, have come to the realization that you're both in agreement, there's alignment within your relationship, and now we got the wedding, we did all the craziness, here we go, 1, a 2, a skiddly diddly do. Boop. Okay, if that makes any sense. It's just, there's an order of things for a reason. It's not just to tell people not to do this. It's not some legalistic thing. It's literally because there are spiritual and emotional laws that some of us, we don't even realize that we're breaking when we start playing with fire, if you will, outside of the context of marriage. And it does affect you. It does, and it can leave scars. If you are someone who has maybe already done that, like had sex outside of marriage, there's no condemnation. There's no judgment. That's why grace is so amazing. That's why it's grace. So freely receive that. I mean, freely it's been given, freely we receive. Starting today, it can be a fresh new day. Every single day, God's mercies are new for us. Every day we need new mercies for our new stupid. It's just true. I encourage you, today is a new day. Embrace purity and understand that sex is a gift from God. It's not bad. It's not evil. You shouldn't have shame. It is a wonderful, beautiful thing, honey. However, there's a right place and a right time for certain things, because if they're done outside of the correct context, it can have damage and it can be destructive. Not that you can't heal from it, not that there's not grace. There absolutely is. But striving to stay in your lane of righteousness because you know that it's going to reap benefits, because boundaries are put in place to protect us and give us ultimate joy, not to restrict us. It's like Adam and Eve in the garden. The reason they went for the dang fruit was because the enemy convinced them that God was holding out on them, that he wanted to keep them from having this amazing, eternal, transcending knowledge. Total lie. It was perverted. It was complete lies, and I don't want people to fall into that too. Wait until you got the ring on, okay? Ask anyone that's waited or that decided, or that maybe like messed up and then decided like, hey, I'm gonna recommit my life to purity. I promise you, I've not met one person that regretted waiting until marriage. I haven't. It's bliss. So I've heard. It's awkward. All right, that's really all I have to say. Hopefully this makes sense, and if it doesn't, I'm not even gonna post this, but God bless y'all. Bye.